Hello friends, welcome to tutorial is. In this video I will show you that how you can do CRUD operation or insert, update, delete. In the front end we will be using Angular 20 and in the back end we will be using Laravel 12, and by the time this video is recorded both are the correct version. So guys, I will show you step by step that how you can create CRUD operation insert, update, delete with image upload. So guys, let me show you. This is the complete interface. At the end of this tutorial you will learn this. Okay, so now I will show you that how you can add any record. For example, I'm going to add just this record now, and here let's put some password then select image. This is Laravel in the front end, and in the back end, in the front end is Angular actually, and in the back end Laravel. So you can see the data has been successfully created here. Now if you want to make changes, for example, if you want to change it to this, and let's select another image. This time if I select this image and then update, then you can see the image has been updated as well as all the records has been updated. So guys, this way you can do complete CRUD operation insert, update and delete. So let me show you. This is our Laravel API in the backend running, and this one is front end Angular 20. So guys, using both we will be doing this CRUD operation step by step. I will show you that how you can create complete this CRUD operation. In the backend REST API we will be using Angular, and in the backend we will be using Laravel, and in the front end we will be using Angular. So stay connected, and now let's start the tutorial. Hello friends, welcome to tutorial is, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can create REST API using Laravel 12. So guys, step by step I will show you that how you can create REST API, and also in this video I will show you that how you can upload image. So in this tutorial I will show you that how you can create project. After that we will configure the database, and then we will create model, and after creating model then we will do migration, and how to set up course origin, but this is optional but also this is important, and then we will create controller, and after that how we can create different functions, and apart from that I will also show you that how we can create these routes, and finally how this works. So let me show you the live example, and then I will show you step by step that how I have done the same thing. This is the Postman, from where let me show you I have used here Laravel. So first let me show you the get method. From here you can see there are two records, that's why it is displaying here. Right now if you want to insert the data, in that case what you will have to do, click on post and then headers, scroll it down, not headers actually, body, and inside that we will check here form, because we will upload image as well, that's why. Now you can see first name, last name, email, password and image. These are the fields. So now if I want to say and this is the mobile number, and let's upload image here as well. Just I'll cut it, and then let's select any one of the image. For example, I'm just going to select this one. Now if I select, and then I will post here, send post. As you can see the data has been successfully created, and now if you want to check whether it's been uploaded or not, you just click on get, and then you can see there are now 3 records. So that means what? Successfully the data has been created. If you want to check particular one, for example this third one, in that case what you will have to do, just put here id 3 and then send. You can see that particular only one record. Now if you want to delete, then what you need to do, just you have to go to here and just change the method, and then click on send and you will see that successfully the record has been deleted. If you want to check whether it exists, you will see it won't show because it's already profile not found. That means this has been deleted. Now if you want to update, you need to put, and then here you'll have to pass the ID. So let me check first ID, what ID is remaining here. In that case, so now click on send. Now you can see 4 and 5. So suppose I want to update where it says Kamran, so 6, ID number 6 we want to update here. Just we will put here, and in Laravel for Postman generally we have to pass a method put only, then it works, this put. So that's why we have to select this and then click on send. No, but before let's change the name. Okay, we have changed the name, and now we will try to send here update, and you can see the name. And here, so we don't have to actually write here put. Laravel doesn't accept that put in Postman particularly, so we have to select post only. The method we will pass from here, from this. So now we will check, and then you will see the data has been successfully updated. So guys, step by step I'll show you that how we can do all the things, and I will show you starting from how to install the project, and to the end we will reach up to this point. So step by step I will show you how to do it. Let's stay connected. So here we will install a new project. So what I'll do, I'm just putting here cmd command line, and then let's come to the tutorial. Here I will share this link in the description so that you can also check. Now what we will have to do, we have to create a new project, and the project name Laravel REST API. Whatever name you want you can give, but in my case I'm just going to give here Laravel REST API. Let's close it. Okay, so we will start a new one. The project name here is, here you can see the project name is Laravel REST API. Whatever name you want you can put here, but in my case I'm putting this one only. You can see what version of Laravel is being installed. So here you can see the current version by the time this video is recorded, it is 12.10.6. and yes, what I have to do, I have to disable my this one, or else it will cause problem. Alright, so this is our project, not this one actually, yeah, REST API, and inside this Laravel REST API, this is the one. So let's open this project into VS Code. Okay, so I'll have to open from here. So what I'll do, I will just open new folder. Okay, so this is our project. In the meantime, what we will do, we will write here database connection, means we will change here database connection. The first thing what you will have to do, you have to basically, so what I will do, I'll just go here and then start my XAMPP so that I can access PHP my admin. XAMPP control, I will start this. Okay, it's already started. So what I need to do, let's go here and then PHP my admin. Let's start the localhost PHP my admin, and then we will create here one database. We can name it whatever we like, but what I want here, let's keep the same name, project name, so that it will be easier to recognize. Let's keep here underscore Laravel REST API. Database has been created. Now the next step will be here. We will use MySQL, not SQLite. So that is why we need to make changes here. So rather than SQLite, we will say MySQL. We will change it, and then after this, let's uncomment this. Localhost, this is fine. In my case, host name, this port number is 8, but in your case, most probably the port number, the default port number of MySQL is always 6, but in for some reason I have changed it to 8. So don't follow this. You use here 6 only, and then here database. So the database just we have created here now. We will just put here the database name, no space. Now here I'll put my admin. This is my username, but whatever your username will be, definitely you will use that one. And here is Angular 13. This is my password. So whatever your password is, you will use that one. That's it in this one for the time being. Here it takes time, so let's wait. Okay, so now successfully installed. Now what we'll do, PHP artisan serve. Oh, we need to go inside that directory now. Basically that's why it was saying couldn't open. So this is the project. We have to write here, going to CD, and then it will work, of course, or else it was throwing error. Now our server has successfully been started. Now let's go here, and then okay, so this will show the default Laravel installed. The next step will be to go to here, and then here it's done. The next task will be to create model and controller. So now let's go here, and then PHP artisan make controller, and then controller name. Sorry, first model name, make model, and then model name. So our this name will be profiled model name, and also M, that means this will create. Now press enter, profile. Okay, so why do we write this M? Means migration file also be created, that's why. So you can see the migration file, this one has been created successfully. So if you want to check here, then go to model, app model, inside model, you can see this is the model file. Apart from that, if you go to database and then migrations, you can see this is the same name. What is the name? Profile, right? So if you check here, so this is our newly created schema. So we will fill here the required schema. In the meantime, let's create controller also. To create the controller, this is the command. Let's PHP controller, and what we will do, we will keep it inside API folder. Okay, let's delete this, and then we will keep this inside our API folder. Press enter. So it says that successfully it has been created as well. So if you check here inside the controller, it means HTTP and then API, you can see this is the user controller. The easiest one is to show the data, right? So what we will do, let's do this one. Inside this means to fetch all records, public function index, and then of course this model name we will have to call from here. Let's include the model, and basically our model name is profile, not this one, file app model. You can see, you know, this is the model name, and model, this one has been successfully imported as well. Now to access this, we need to make changes inside routes file. So where is that? Let's go to routes file, and then we will have to create here one file called api.php, and then what we will do, we will just call for the time being this one. Now let's go here, and then of course we have to start here php, and then let's write this one. Now profile controller. So what is user controller? No, it's not. So right here user controller, and here as well. Now the error is gone, and this is our endpoint, first endpoint, right? So now let's try to access here. So now php artisan serve to start, and here before that php artisan migrate, and yeah, but before that, before migrating, we have to change here something. Where? In our database, inside these migrations. So this is our table. Now we have to add here more field. So basically these are our field names. Okay, so here let's create, and then this will be profile. No? profiles. Rest of the things are fine. So what are the fields name? ID, primary key, first name, last name, email, that will be unique, and then password, and finally image, that will be nullable, means null value can be accepted. That's it. And after that php artisan make migrate. Now php artisan, and then we have to migrate it. Same code is here. So now let's press enter. Yes, so guys, you can see these three tables has been created successfully. If you want to check, let's go here and then refresh this. You can see all related Laravel REST API. You can see all related, particularly these profiles has been created successfully with all the field names. Currently it doesn't have any data because we have not inserted. Let's do one thing. What I'll do, just go to insert, and then first name, manually for checking purpose we will alright, these fields we will insert. Let's click, then automatically the date will be created. Okay, so one record for testing purpose we have put here. Now what I'll do, go to here. Have we started? No, we have to start server again, and then here we have to write API/users, endpoint users, no? Or endpoint here users. It's right. Now try to open. Okay, it says 404. Okay, so you can see it is showing not found. So we'll have to resolve this by two ways. The first thing is, let's write here php artisan, and then you will find here inside install these two. So let's write it down somewhere. And also what you will have to do, we need to add here inside Bootstrap. You can see there is Bootstrap, and then inside that app, inside that you will see only this is by default. you have to add this extra line, okay. Apart from that, so that is the first thing you have to do to work this API. The next one is we have to install these two. So it's right here. PHP artisan install API. Okay, now it's installed. Okay, API routes file already exists, that is why. So let's do one thing, let's delete the API routes first, then we will publish. Would you like to run install pending database migrations? Yes. Okay, so it says that okay, successfully it's already done. So that means what, you don't have to create the API file, it will create the API file automatically when you install this. The next one is PHP artisan. We have to install this one as well. So now PHP artisan and then this. Let's select here. Okay, it says all dependencies has been installed now. Let's serve again. Alright, now if you want to check the route list, then you go to here and guys, successfully you can see the route is now detecting. Go to our route file and check API. So basically we don't need this API, just remove it. So users is sufficient. This was for testing, let's remove this one. That's it. Now let's go to the browser and here refresh. Oh, we have to run the server. Guys, successfully our fetching data, that means what, this section is not required. So only thing, 2 points you need to keep in mind. First thing, inside this bootstrap and then app, and going here you need to add this one. This is the step number 1. Step number 2, I've already displayed that you need to install PHP Artisan API installed and broadcasting channel also, for particularly for authentication, but API install is mandatory. After that this API will work. Now the next one will be, let's come here, the user controller, and then for adding the data. Now let's come back here into our tutorial, and then for adding the data, what we have to do, this is the code to add the data. So this is the code that we need to put here. Let me explain you that what is this and how this works. What we are doing, this is for store, right? And that means what, means for adding the data, and this one is for validation. You can see there are different validation, required, email, and this model will check, email is mandatory and unique also, string, and the allowed file name is this. After this it will check has file, image. If it already has file, then what it will do, it will concatenate time so that image will not be overwritten. Apart from that, the image will be uploaded to public path and then images profiles, and this is the image name it will take. So basically what we will have to do, inside public here we will have to create according to this images, right? Images, and then inside that profiles, so that image will upload here, profiles, right? So under this folder our images will be uploaded. Now this is for password hashing, and finally it will get inserted and JSON message will return. Not only that, in going inside API we have to now write here for post. So here we need to write users will be same, and here function will be store. Function will be store. Now let's go to, and of course this will be post, the method will be post. Now let's go to here in the browser, not browser actually, here, and then try to add. Just we were seeing before, just let's remove this, and just we have to write here users, and then you have to go to body here, and then you have to fill one by one, first name, last name, email, password, image, and this method is not required for let's uncheck this. Okay, and then you check here text, and then this one image will be file, so that you can check the image, means upload the image, right? So all the fields we have already selected here, you can fill one by one, since I was testing that time, so that's why the field is selected. And remember, this should be post. Okay, and this is our API URL. Now we will submit the data and see whether it's working or not. So click on send. Okay, 500 error. Okay, so let's write this line of code to debug. Only dd all will not work. Okay, return this one, request all 200. So we will see what data we are sending here. Now if you go and click on send, then we can see, okay, first name, last name, email, password is going, but looks like the file image is somehow not going. So let's select new image once again. I will select this one, and then let's try. Okay, it only shows the text data. If you want to show here image also, in that case this will toast text data, and then it will find whether the image is being uploaded or not. Okay, so now let's check. Okay, so successfully you can see it is displaying the image is also being sent, so the problem is something else. Now we have to write here the debugging code. For debugging purpose, if you add this extra validation exception, eliminate validation exception, and then if you check from this, then you will get the actual region. Now let's see, let's try to send the data again. Now let's come here, and you can see it is saying first name is not added in field level. Okay, so the problem is inside the model we have not filled anything. So in the model we have to add these things. Table name is profiles, and then these are the fields which are going to be added. Now let's come back to here and try to send and see. Okay, so guys, it says successfully the record has been added. To check that, let's come here and then refresh it. So the record should be 2, right? Yeah, you can see the record, there are 2 records. Also we will see whether the image has been uploaded or not. So inside profile you can see the image has been uploaded as well. So guys, this way we can add into our, but now this is not required, that long code. So that's it. So these are enough. Okay, but if for debugging purpose, particularly in API, this one is very useful if you want to know the additional details. Okay, so next we will see single record, how we can display. We will need, there is no blade file required for this now, because this is a REST API, that's why. So let's replace this. The syntax is same, just the response will be different, because the response will be with data, means we will not display this into blade file directly, we will be displaying this into JSON format, that's why. Now let's run the project. Now let's users and then okay, inside users API. Okay, so currently we have two records, but if we want to display only this one, so what we will do, just you need to type 2 API users 2. So let's check the route. Have you defined the route also? Inside the route, API route, routes, resources and country Bootstrap providers, models, very routes. Yeah, inside API, because we have not defined that one, that's why. So what we need to do here, we need to write one more, and then we have to pass here like this ID, and then of course it will get the function name is so. Okay, rest things will be same. Let's come here and try to open. Now you can see the record 2 is successfully opening here. So two things you need to do, that means what, this is dynamic, okay, users, and this is the ID, and it will load this show function. Okay, so when you open the browser, you can see we are passing here these two, and based on that it is fetching and displaying here. That's it. Now the next task will be to delete and update. To delete the record, let's open. So the next one is to work on delete part. So in this section we will be working on delete part. So let's take the code from here, and the function name is destroy. For that, what we will have to do, we have to go here user controller, and then we have to paste this code. So basically you can see actually ID will pass here, okay, because to delete, and this it is more of like select start from this. So it will first fetch ID. If no ID is found in the database, then it will show the error. After that, what it will do, it find the image related to that, and it will delete the image also. Means apart from deleting the record, it will also delete the image. So that is the idea. And because normally that way. And finally this is the code through which actual delete part will be done, and finally it will show the message. So it will show profile deleted successfully. Now let's come back here, because it's showing error in the file. So that's why we have to copy above part, actually this one for file. Just we have to take this file to work. So in the top we will have to uh, import this code packet file, and then you can see the error is gone now. It was earlier showing the error. Now let's come back here, and now let's go to delete, and then we have to pass actually ID here slash ID, which record we want to delete. So let's check here how many records do we have actually. ID number 2, we want to delete the ID number 2. In that case, let's see, and this is the path API users and ID 2. Now let's delete this, it's not required. Inside API I've already written the code, so now we have to go to so yeah, here also we will have to write the code, means route. Just copy it and paste below, In this one we have to write delete method, and then users and id will be same, just we need to change your function name, and that will be destroy. So the function name is destroy, no? That is why. So you can see the function name is destroy, that's why. So delete. Now this one is done. So this destroy. Now come here and try. Just click on send, and you can see successfully deleted. So that means what? Our delete function is now working perfectly. If you refresh it, you can see it is saying profile not found. That means what? There is no record in the database successfully. It has been deleted. So that is the idea. So here it's already done. Next one we have to do is update part. So guys, normally what happens in update part, it's combination of store and next one. So we'll have to write the code here for this is a combination of show and a store. This will be. Let's come to the code and just let's take the code from here. Update. This is the code for update. Just copy it and then paste. So you can see there are 2 points here. First one is request, is whatever we will be posting, and also ID, because we will ask that okay, what will be updated. We have to pass ID and data both. First we'll check ID. If the ID is there, then it's fine, or else it will show error. After that, all the data will be checking here, just like heading, like this all will be checking. After the checking has been done, here it will check image. Okay, if image already exists, then it will delete the image, and after that it will update the new image. And here it will take first name, last name, email record, and also password will be encrypted. And so there is a method, there is a encryption method that is called bycraft, and the password will be encrypted, and finally it will be saved here, and it will show the JSON format data. So now let's go to here and try to post. Normally what happens is a post, but here in Laravel you will have to use Postman particularly. We have to pass the method specially separately here. In the last you can see it's put, that's one. Now let's change it to Neha Banerjee. Now we will try to update. So basically, yeah, and also we have to write here route. Now just copy it again. Let's write the route here. So here will be patch, post, and then update. Now let's come back here and try to, and the method must be here put. Okay, so no, it will be actually patch. Okay, patch and put both we'll have to put here for safe side. So let's try first this with this. Okay, and the method here is put, and post will be in the top here for Postman particularly. Now we are passing the user ID 2. You can see user ID 2 was already actually deleted. So let's do one thing. Let's add one more record. Okay, so just it's add one record. So it's been added successfully. Now let's try to update. If you want to check here whether the record has been updated or not, so you can see, yeah, it has been added successfully. This Nehana just be added. Now let's come back here, and then Nisa, we will change it to Nisa, and then method we will put, we'll just give here put method. ID number is 3. So let's put the ID number 3, and then let's try to update. Okay, so once again it's saying 405. That means what? There is something wrong. Okay, so actually we made mistake here. We have to actually write here put also apart from patch. Basically patch is not required, that is that much important. Put is required. Okay, but for safe side you can put here patch also. So the first one is required, means put is mandatory and patch is uh, supporting. Okay, now let's save it and then comment try. Guys, you can see now the name Nisa has been successfully changed. So this way we can do, and if you want to check here, then you see the name Nisa has been successfully changed. So this way you can update also the record. Okay, so here you can see insert, update and delete, all the parts has been done. Guys, this is the complete code here, so you can take help of this. I will provide its link so that you can check the video as well as you can take the code, so that you don't have to. But I strongly recommend to try to write the code later yourself, so that you will learn it. So that's it. Here one a project, say ng new ng new ng flask ng flask. So I'm giving the name something like this. Now let's create the project. Do you want to create journless? No, for the time being we are not going to create journless. CSS, SSR currently we are not going to use. In the meantime, we will open this project into VS Code. So this is our previous project. What I'll do, I'll add here in the workspace. Add to workspace. This is our newly created project. Alright, so we will be, whatever we will be doing, we will do here. SRC, then app. After this, what we will do, let's create two folders. One folder we will create, that is called models. We will create here models, and then another one services. Services. The model file will create, we will be just defining the rule like all the fields name. In the services, this will act as a bridge from API. Means first we will fetch the data from API, and we will keep inside service, and all the components will fetch or send the data via this service. So that is the idea. After this, we will create a few components also. So let's start creating the component, and let me close this one. It's not required for the time being because we are going to create our own. So cd, now this cd ng flask. All right, and npm start or ngser, whatever you write, this will be the same thing. Now our project will start. Let's close all the previous one. Okay, we are going to work in this one, so that I will show you the step that how I have done all these things. So this is model and this is service. Okay, and we will be creating few folders. Folders means component, like add component, update component, and list component. So let's create here, but before that let's see if it's installed or not. It's our previous one and this is the new one. Now you can see it's successfully installed. Now we will step by step start creating. So the first thing what we will do, let's take CDN file here because we will be using Bootstrap. Okay, just copy it and go to our index.html, which is here, and inside the head we will put here. Since it's localhost, so this integrity cause problem, so we can skip this, delete this integrity. Similarly, so this is our folder structure. You can see this is model, then this is services, and create for creation, and this one is for showing list, and this one is for updating. So similarly we will be creating like this. This is project structure. So inside model, let's copy and paste this. Let's create here inside model. Okay, we will fill the data later here. Yeah, you can see what actually we have. If you check here, we have email, first name, last name, email, and last name. So according to that, we will have to fill the data here. So inside our model, this will be the field. ID is optional. Why? Because while creating means while inserting the data, you won't have ID initially, na? That's why. At the time of editing, ID will come, that is fine, but at the time of insert we won't have ID. So that's why we have kept here this optional. But rest of the things are first name, last name, email, password, and image. All are defined here inside the model, and our model name is user. That's it. Its work is finished now. The next task will be to create here our services. This is finished. Now service. So if you go here and check the next step, services, inside this we will be creating here user service. Inside service normally what we do, we write the functions so that, and we call all the API. So we will do the same thing here. So inside the user service we will have basically these things. What we have? Alright, so under models, it's in our case the name is models. Injectable, that means what? This will be available in all other components, this injectable. That's why we have written here provided in root, means it will be available for all components. Now this is user service. Remember, here we need to write @injectable. That means whenever you write @injectable, that means what? This is service class, not a normal class. Now next thing is we have to write our API URL. So our API URL is this. So how do we know? If you go here, you can check. This is your API URL. This one. So the same API based URL we're writing, and HTTP client, this one is required to send and receive the data from the server. And now we will be creating all the functions to fetch the data. This one is, this get users is for fetching all the records. This one is for inserting the data, and this one is to fetch single record, and this one is for updating, and finally this one is for deleting. So we have all the functions ready here. In this one you can see what we have. This observable, then see model name, blank array, and then return what it will return. This to HTTP get and model and API URL, means from here it will fetch the data and return. This function will return actually the data. So that is the thing. Our service class is also done. Next one, we will create here components. Now let's go here and then Control C, we will break the server, and nggc means generate component. Now let's see the name of the folder. So first we will create this component from here. After this we will create another one. We will create actually 3 components. This one, user list to display the list, and next one will be for updating. Here this one is also created. Now for updating, user update. That's it. Yes, it's done now. So all the components now we have created, and we will start writing the code. Okay, now let's start the server again. Let's start the server here. So server is now started. Let's close it, and then the next task, let's close this one also. The next task that we need to do is let's start from user list, because first we will show the data here. So inside user list we will here implements ng on init. Okay, after this let's create here model, means we are creating here an object of our model, that is users. This is a blank array. We will fill the data later. After this we will have to write constructor. Inside constructor, as a dependency injection, we will be calling service. So in our case the service file is this, and we have to call the router as well. Still it's showing error because we will have to write this function below. It says that we will have to implement it later. And then to display the list we will have to write this function. So basically now the error is gone, because ng on init, this one we are implementing. This is an interface actually. That's why we are writing here implements. So inside this interface, this is the function which we must inherit. Function body we have to write. Now get users, actually we are calling on load. It's like, you know, on body load, this one. And get users, we are calling here this dot service dot get users. This get users is inside service, and then subscribe, the data is coming here, and finally this one is for checking purpose whether the data is coming or not. After this we will have to write our HTML code to display the data. So let's go here, let's remove, and then we will put the code. So inside the user list, these are the fields which we require. What are these? It's very clear: first name, last name, email, and image. So this users of user, that what is this users? If you go here, this is our users, this one. So we are calling here in this HTML, and for of ng4 through ng4 we will be looping this id, first name, last name, email, or we are calling this one is for image, and this is our server path, and this one edit user and delete user. Definitely it will show error because these two functions we have not created yet, so we will have to create these two functions here as well. So let's add these two functions. What are these? Delete user, then id we are passing. So based on id we will pass the id here and subscribe, and this dot get users means after deleting once again load all the users, and edit users is the pass the data and it will redirect to edit page. So that's it. Now we will have to work on a routing here, app.routes.ts file. And now let's write here all the path. So what we are doing, routes, then we are calling here users pool, and then user list that we have just created, let's call it, and then this one is user create component. Alright, so this is not available, it says, and we have to call user update, and then user, okay, the name can be different, and also let's import all the dependencies. Alright, so all the dependency has been imported. Why this one is not showing here? Because let me check inside user list, user create here. Okay, the name is user create, that's why. So we have to name it same, and now it can be easily called here. And then this app from app, this app file we are calling this app.ts. So guys, that's it. What we are doing actually, we are writing here all the route, the component are in this side, and this is corresponding URLs, and finally we are binding this to all the components. This means app component, inside app component. Now let's go to app.ts file, not ts actually, index file, app. Here what we will do, we will delete everything from here, and just we will have router link, that's it. This is our main app file. Now let's run and test the application, what it shows. It's showing here blank. So now why it's showing blank? Because we have to call two things. First we need to import, and this provider means user service, also the service we will have to call here, and these are dependencies which we needs to be called. Router module, okay, actually router we need to call here, no? That's why. So now let's see what happens. So now guys, you can see successfully our data is coming just like I demonstrated you before. So here you can see all the names etc are coming. Let me show you that what happens actually. We can remove this one, it says it's deprecated. Let's see if we remove this. Okay, we'll have to keep this, or else let's try to add one code here, HTTPClient, this one, provided HTTPClient. Okay, in app.config.ts. Now let's try. Yeah, so now it's done. Actually in previous version there was an option to call HTTP client module, but now in the newer version in Angular 20 we can write here in app.config at once, this one, this module, that's it. So no need to call anywhere this. So the main point is router module and services we need to call, And then what we are doing here, we are creating an object of this model, and through dependency injection we are passing here, we are calling this function here, this function, and this function is actually connecting to our service file. Let's close it. Okay, it's connecting. This function is actually written here in our service file. We are fetching the data from there and storing here, and finally this data is being sent to HTML file. Similarly, delete and edit user we will do. Delete can be checked here at this point of time only. For example, Tony, if you delete, it got deleted successfully. So delete code is already working. The next task will be to work on add. For the time being, you can see it is showing user creates because our code is blank here. You can see user create. Currently this code is totally blank, that is why. So now let's work on adding the data. So we have to initialize here the form. So we will write here this form group. Okay, this form group, form builder we will have to call, because we are going to use here reactive form modules. That's why. Now let's import the dependency and this form builder also, and user service that we have already created, we have to call this one also, and finally the router. Remember, all these things are written inside here, and also this one is validator, means we can do some validation before inserting. So what we are doing actually, this user form, this dot, all these are these things we are writing inside constructor, and then here inside this we are creating user form instance where fb.group, then first name is required, last name required, this one is required, and validators.email means @ must be given, password will be required, image is not, means this one is not mandatory. Now next task will be to write the code for inserting. This one is for all selected file, means when we will select the file, then this code it will take from here and it will store the file name here. Okay, and this dot user form dot patch, this one is for updating this image. So in short you can say we will get image name from here. And finally we will write code for submitting. This is create user, means this is a function for submitting. It will get here in form instance whether it's valid or not. We are creating a blank form data, and finally all the fields, first name, last name, we are appending. After this we have to append image also, and then once everything is done, then create function which is inside service file. There all the data, this as a form data, as a block, as a group, it will send, and finally it will be redirected to the view file. After this we need to write here the create function, means we will have to write HTML code. And the HTML code is not very complex, it's straightforward. What we are doing here, we are creating object of this form group. This is instance of this form group, same user form. If you go to here inside this in our TS file user form, yeah, we created an instance of this form group as user form. Same thing we are doing here. You can see this form group, we are creating an instance, and this is a function. ng submit is a function. After clicking, what will happen, this function will be called, and this function is written here. This create user will be called, that means it will be submitted. Now next here input type text, first name, and then form control name, because we are basically using here form builder and form group, that's why. So we will writing here, and not only that, in imports we will have to import here forms module, and then another one is this one, common module and router module. These two we need to import. Apart from that, we need to providers here, and then what is our user service. No, this is our service name. So that's it. Now let's come back here. So this is form control, and then first name, last name, whatever we are putting here, all the fields here. And for image we have to write here input type file, and then our name is, and on change this on select file. So basically on change means this is a function, then this function will be called here. So now if you go here, then you can see we have already written here this function. So if you console this, okay, let's first run this, then we will talk about this later. Alright, now if you click on add user, then it's going blank. Why? Let's check in the console. In the console it is saying no provider for injection. We have written here forms module, common module, router module, user service is also there. Now we need to actually call this reactive forms module, because if you're using this forms groups and form builder, then this one needs to be imported. So now let's go here. Imports must be array of components directive ng module. Create user line number 8. Here router module is fine. Okay, this one is not required actually. So forms module, common module, and reactive form module. These three are required. Okay, so now our form is ready. So we will write here okay. So now you can see successfully the data is being added. So basically what we have done, you have to import forms module, common module, and reactive forms module, these three, and in provider, for provider you have to import this one. Okay, and then you have to pass all these things in constructor, forms module, user service, and router. And here you will have to create the instance of forms group where we can put validation also. And this one is for selecting the image. When you select the image name is taken here. If the file name is fine, then what happens actually, inside the form it patch, means image name is attached there, and finally the value of image name is fetched from here. And now while sending the data, what we do, this is one group, means text file, and this is one group, image. So what we do, we attach both of these together, and finally we send to the service file, and it goes to the backend. And now our last part, and that is edit is remaining. So let's do that one. Currently it's showing user update. Inside edit form, the HTML will be exactly same. So just we need to copy this, and inside our update HTML we will just put it. Only the function name can be different here. Create or update user, you can name it as update user. That's it. Rest of the things will be same. The changes will be inside our, let's close it, the changes will be inside our TS file, that means here. So whatever we have done inside our create user.ts, like service, and these will be also imported in our user update also. And this forms module also. Let's install all dependencies. Okay, the imports is already there, that's why. Let's delete it. Now we will write the code same way, the way we had written the code in the insert file. So here you will see few things. Once again, this forms groups we need to import form group, and this ID, user ID, at the time of editing you need ID, that's why we are passing here user ID. Then forms builder, once again you will have to call, and this one is used to fetch the URL ID, this activated route, this one. And this validator and all these things are same. You can see first name, last name, email, it will be required email, and password, all that, just like insert file. The main thing will be here, we will create a function called update user. But before that you need to load the data, because before editing user will see that what already data is. So what we are doing, we are fetching the ID from URL. This ID we will be fetching this. To fetch this ID we need this. So we are storing here user ID. Now it is saying if user ID is there, then it will fetch single user from service file and it will patch to the form. Means automatically it will check the form name and the data will attach with that. You don't have to write like in HTML PHP. Normally we write dot value, so something like this. And once again, now the next thing visually update. Now this one will be for select file, means image upload, just like we had done in means insert and update will be almost same. Only thing in update this will be different to fetching the data. And now finally the update, this one is for update user, that's it. If you compare with insert and update, it is exactly same, all the things are same. The only difference is this one, because what we'll have to do now, you see the data is fetched here. Now first you will have to fill the data, and after that user will submit and it will get updated. Actually it will be not add new user, update user, it will be the heading. Okay, so that is HTML, no problem. So you are seeing here, this is add new user, basically this is update. So let's try to update. Let's upload a new image here this time. So I'm taking this ID haircut. Okay, the data is successfully updated. So guys, you have seen how we can add here we can edit here and we can delete the data. So all the things is completed. In the backend we have used Flask, REST API, and in the front end Angular. Let's recap it what we have done. We have first created model from here, then service file, all the service functions we have written here: get users, create users, get by ID, then update and delete. And then according to that, the API is hitting to the server endpoint, and according to that data is being fetched and same is being called here. This one is for creating the form group, and finally this one is for loading the form, and this one is for selecting the file, selecting image and attaching both text and image. We are sending the whole data to the server, and it is going to the server and uploading the image as well. So you can see now there is one thing remaining. In our previous example you had seen there was header here, na? So you can put header also, Bootstrap header. So we will write here Bootstrap navbar. You can find here different navbar here. This is one of the navbar. Second one is this one. So let's take any one of these. Now you will have to put this navbar into app.html before this, so that it will be available in all the pages. Now you go and you can check this is the menu. Inside this menu you can add here, like this add list, and also you can, so better let's do put it inside a div, and here inside this write here container class container fluid, and in this one will be class container. That's it, guys. You can see oh, class 2 class actually already there is class, no? That's why we can attach this class here. Let's remove this. So now it's fine. So this way guys you can do complete insert, update and delete